This one right here in this story really goes to show how Hollywood plays by a different set of rules. Union Station COVID-19 test is reported from CBS Los Angeles. Union Station COVID-19 testing site closing for a film shoot. Imagine that y'all fools still think this shit is about the virus, man. Like, as Modelo virus cases and hospitalizations continue to surge in Los Angeles County, one testing site will be closing Tuesday for a city-sanctioned feature film shoot. The shoot involves some exterior establishing shots and interior dialogue with a total cast and crew size of around 170. Film LA said in a statement Monday, prior to this issue being brought to our attention, neither Film LA nor the locations team for the production company had prior knowledge of a COVID-19 testing center operating on site. Sure. Film LA said it did not know who made the decision to close the creative testing center to appointments, but stated that it was not a decision sought by the production company. Made aware of the testing site closure, production reps from the film offered to work with station representatives to restore access to the testing site tomorrow. Film LA said the two uses of the facility may be compatible based on the area to be used for filming and production interests, making it work. Andrea Garcia, press secretary for Mayor Eric Garcetti, said the city hoped to have the testing site reopened. Earlier today, we learned that our Union Station testing kiosk was unexpectedly closed. Yeah, unexpectedly closed. It just snuck up on everybody. Of course, like there was nobody that. It's funny how nobody seems to know that this was happening. As soon as this was brought to our attention, we contacted 504 people scheduled for a test on December 1st at Union Station, letting them know that their appointment will be honored at any of the other 14 city testing locations. So you can't go to that one, but you can get tested. We apologize for inconvenience, delayed notification, but LA Union Station site has had to cancel appointments for December 1st due to the event being held at the location. The Entertainment magazine reported that the station was closed for filming of She's All That remake, He's All That. So they were shooting a remake of She's All That, and that's what. And it's funny how they only dropped that like in the last sentence. This kind of goes back with the whole Gavin dipshit and what he was saying, that the entertainment industry was completely exempt from these restrictions. That new restrictions that he had added was not too long ago. It was like a week ago or something like that. And he had said that, yeah, well, all that applies, but it doesn't apply to Hollywood. So if you're in the entertainment industry, it's fine. You can go do whatever it is that you had planned to do. So as long as you follow these baseline restrictions, but the main restrictions, those don't apply to you. Now, why on earth would Gavin Newsom say that? See, that's the thing about this, in that industry. And this is why it's so easy for Hollywood academic, educational elites to sit here and be like, shut everything down, wear a mask all the time, do this, do that. The reason why it's so easy for them to say that is because they don't play by the same rules as you. There is no possible way that anybody could film anything through any movie throughout a pandemic and not break some sort of restrictions that are placed upon everybody, or some sort of recommendation, right? You're going to inevitably link up with people that are been around, and it's just an inevitable thing that is the nature of your industry. But they know that they play by a different set of rules. They don't have to follow those. And in the event that they break those, they have very expensive lawyers who can get them virtually out of everything. And then it doesn't hurt that, well, when it comes to them, and I think Cuomo had a bit with this as well, at least New York did, was a similar tidbit where you had these elites that just were not, they were exempt. They got to do whatever it is that you do, but going back to the gyms, which I will continue to go, you own a gym, hey, go fuck yourself. You will be restricted. Getting in shape, that's not important. And then we heard about people that would advocating restrictions, had their own little underground gyms. And we know what happened with Nancy Pelosi getting her hair done. And then she said she got nervous. It was a setup. It was a damn setup. Nah, bro. Nah, you don't get to say that. But those rules don't apply to them. That's why it's so easily for them to just, and you can wonder, like, why would they do something like that? Like, how could they dare say something like this? How could they constantly preach this nonsense knowing that it's destructive when it comes to certain people's livelihoods? Let's just call it what it is. Like, when people lose their entire business, you're ruining their livelihoods, right? But it's easy for them to say that because they don't have to follow the rules, and they know that. They know that. Why on earth would they advocate shut it down, wear a mask all the time? They don't do that shit because they know the rules don't apply. They're exempt. You are the peasant. The rules only apply to you. They only apply to you. They don't apply to them. And the quicker people realize, the quicker that we get on the other side of this. I'm going to end with this note. Because one of the greatest things that I've seen out of all of this, unfortunately, it's happening in a lot of areas, but we're hearing more about it happening in the Upper East Coast because they're going through another round of really, really draconian restrictions. And you're seeing bar owners and restaurant owners saying, I saw they called de Blasio. We were talking about this on Blaze TV. You can go watch that. News and Why It Matters. I was on with Hillary Kennedy and Glenn Beck. And we were talking about, Glenn and I were talking about how, like, you get these, there's these people out there, and they have video of them basically they call one DeBozo, right? Instead of de Blasio, they call him DeBozo. And they were basically saying, like, you come down here and shut my shit down. And the more we get of that, because that's where it's going to start, right? It's one thing for me to sit here, or us at the Blaze, to sit here and say, we don't give a fuck about any of this shit. We're going to do exactly what it was that we were doing before. Like, that's one thing. But it's another thing for, like, business owners, right? The Walmarts of the world are never going to do it. They're complicit. We've seen one of the biggest wealth transfer in human history. They've been one of the biggest, like, beneficiaries when it comes to this whole pandemic. So it's not going to come from them. Walmart isn't going to be the ones to say, yeah, we want it. No, they'll fall in line. They'll do whatever it is they want. They've been the biggest benefit from it. The Amazons of the world, they've been the biggest benefit of it. So of course, when it comes to their policies, these big chains and stuff, when it comes to their policies, they'll do whatever it is that the state will say because they are complicit as far as I'm concerned. But once it comes to, which employs a lot of people, the small business owners, the gym owners, the restaurant owners, the bar owners, when they come out and say no more, that's when we get on the other side of this. And I can totally understand why they wouldn't, because certain folks don't want to deal with that. The average individual really does not want to, like, go to jail, or they don't want to have to be dealing with that sort of conflict. They'd rather just go about their lives. So I can totally understand why they would say, nah, man, I'm not going to go that route. However, I think we're to this point to where they've already shown you that there's no getting on the other side of this. They will force whatever arbitrary laws, no matter if it's rooted in actual science or anything, they will do whatever it is to continue to lock you down. I do believe that once those people start to say, you know what, we are done, that's when we get on the other side of this. But Hollywood, the elites, they know that those rules don't apply to them, which is why they can so easily tell you to go shut down.